Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic morning. Okay, so the conjuration of the 72, right? What is the understanding? Well, the 12 zodiac signs, the 7 planets, the 4 elements, right? All in combination, but it's the 12 within 12 or the 12 within 5. It's all of the different combinations of the application of the individual in unison to the divine, right? What in us is like that which is in God, or in the idea of God, or the Shahamem Farash, which is the 72-fold name of God, right? Or in all of creation. So, me being a plucky sorcerer back in the day, decided to say, okay, what happens if? What happens if we take on ourselves the same application of triggering that divine fire, that divine spark within us? And how do we light it up so that way what we create and how we create it allows us to channel that divinity within us? So we don't have to rely on some god somewhere saying, no, you can't do magic. No, you over there, not doing this, right? So we have to be able to figure out, how do we do this? How do we get to that next stage of opportunity? And so this is the conjuration. I am the one that was first. I am the one that became two, that by the 36 becomes the 72. I am the one that became the 3, that by the 24 became the 72. I am the one which became 4, that by the 18 becomes the 72. I am the one which became 6, that by the 12 becomes the 72. I call that the will becomes the word becomes the flesh becomes manifest, the one of the source, the origin of all things, that becomes at all times and in all hours, the hours of the light and the hours of the dark, that which is the 12 of the day and that which is the 12 of the night, that which is in the zone of the sky and that which is in the division of heaven, that which is in the division of the hells. I am the one who calls the divide. I am the one who commands the gate. I am the one who summons the will. I am the 1 who becomes 2. I am the 2 which becomes 3. I am the 3 which becomes 4. I am the 2 by 6. I am the 4 by 3. I am the 12 by 6. I am the 24 by 3. I am the 72. I am the 12 zones of heaven, and I am the 12 by the angels of heaven, and I am 12 by the demons of the night. I am the 1 which became the 12, and I am that which is the will that stirs creation. I am the creation that is divided, and I am divide, that which is the reflection of the one. I am that which is above and as below. I am the earth and the sky and the heavens of source. I am these things in the zones of the 12 by 6, and I am the word which divided and created the worlds. I am the one which divided to create the 2, and I am the keeper of the keys of creation. I open forth the 72-fold lock, and I stand here as one who charges the gates. The gates shall be opened forth, the 1 that is 2, the 2 that is 4, and the 4 that is the world by 3. The 12 which becomes the zones of the heaven, the 12 which becomes the hours of the day, the 12 which has become the hours of the night, and the 12 which rule the earth, the 12 which rule the heaven, and the 12 which rule the stars, the 12 which have shaped creation. By the 6-fold 12 and the 72-fold gates are now open, the conjuration set in blood, the way open by blood. The word has been spoken of creation, and that which has been and that which is to be, and the possibility is conjured by the 72-fold. The spaces in creation for the worlds to open. I call forth by the 72, that the 72 becomes by the 12, and the 12 becomes the 6, and the 6 becomes the 1 which commands the all open forth into the world. Right? So you open it up, control it, and then bring it back down into the state of oneness, so that all the energies inside of you divides and recombines, so that you understand that as you go into the different applications of this kind of conjuration, it's not just about, again, this isn't about posturing and ego. This is about recombining the energies within you, so that way what you do and how you do it combines to those applications, so that when you need to work with the spirits of a thing, you can say this conjuration over your ingredients and do the same thing to them, so that you can understand what it means when these energies shift into form or shift into being like those other energies, so that there is a path specific to those becoming, right? And so I did all the math mechanics of this over the last few years to break down conjurations like this to demonstrate, okay, this is going to be an array pattern that replicates those energies, that shift from this energy into this other energy over here. So that way there is 72 different shapes and figures that represent on a grid the 12-fold interaction between them if each one of them are equal measure, right? And shifting the way that the equal measure occurs, you can shift out the different paths of energy and the different types of manifestations. So that way, as you're working with the spell and the grimoire, what you do and how you do it, again, it's up to you. But this kind of a thing is like if you've got multiple versions of spirits that are inside of you, like my buddy in high school, he wound up working with spirits in the shadow planes, and he had different spirits of the shade that he was able to divide out and send out and do things independently, right? And so it's like having your own version of the Goetia inside yourself so that you can divide out, okay, I need the one that is 4 or the 5 that goes into 7, right? Those are the 5 and 7. Like, those are energies specifically that move from, like, the sun into life, like, or different states. It just depends on what your symbolism is, what your mechanic structures are that allow you to do these kinds of things. So that way, as you build and as you apply, these are the kinds of things that you do. And these are the kinds of things that get to be done as a direct result of the application of the 72. Now, you can word it in different ways so that way it doesn't sound quite so fragmented, right? But the idea is, again, it's the unification and the manifold path as all the ways that you can find to get to 72. Right, to get to the 12 times 6, understanding that we live on the planet Earth, and the 6 celestial bodies, not counting the moon, are celestially located. So that way, it is the Sun, it is the Mercury, the Mars, the Venus, the Jupiter, the Saturn, and no, I guess it would be the moon. Yeah. So you to get you the 6, right? Because you have to understand that the Earth and the Moon, in the ancient times, they were considered one, right? There was no separation between them. The Earth was just an extension of the Moon. So it's the rest of creation that you have to figure out. It's the rest of the angles of power that you have to pull on. So that way, as you're doing these kinds of things, as you're creating these kinds of things, you engender that opportunity within your ingredients, within your spell environment, within the created world that you're establishing when you're making your ritual space, so that as you conjure up spirits of the past, the future, and things like that, you can understand which state of you they are in relation to the energy that moves inside of you and the energy that you put into the spell, so that way you can track down, is this the spell of that planet? Is this the energy of that planet? Is this the energy of that spirit and me in relation to it? So that there is no confusion between you and the spirit and the environment and all of the spells that you're working. So there is total congruency for everything. So that's how that works. Anyway, stay safe with this. Have fun, my friends.